Have you ever struggled with the experience of feeling broken? Worried that somehow you've been irreparably damaged and healthy relationships will always be a carrot just in front of your nose? If so, you're going to want to stick around for this video, because I'm going to share a clip from inside my private Facebook group in which we explore this topic. Specifically, we identify how it is really emotional confusion that leads to a sense of helplessness and brokenness, and I demonstrate a method for how to find clarity in the chaos. This method will help you identify your most deeply held desires by becoming aware of your limiting beliefs and the underlying fear that generates them. By the end of this short video, you will know how to reframe automatic negative thoughts into positive affirmative statements that not only help you think differently, but feel differently too. But before we dive in, if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Brianamacwilliam, and I am a licensed and board-certified creative arts therapist with more than 15 years in the field, helping adults struggling with insecure attachment go from self-doubting to self-sovereign so they can attract the soul-shaking, passionate partnerships that they want. And I do this using a psycho-spiritual approach to creative arts interventions, which I call the MacWilliam method. The content on my YouTube channel is derived from my online courses, which you can learn more about through the link in the caption of this video. If you would like to learn more about your attachment style, you can take the 4-question quiz. If you like what you see in here and you want to learn more, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I put out videos once a week, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Okay, so let's dive into our content for today. So, the first one I wanted to talk about was how to nurture the ego and your feelings so as not to feel broken when healing. Okay. So how to nurture the ego and feelings so as not to feel broken. So the first thing I would have you acknowledge, or maybe be aware of, is that to not feel broken. So there's sort of like a double negative in there. How do I not feel broken? So you're trying to move away from a feeling, and you are sort of expressing that in the negative. So when we do that, we attract more of that thing, and usually in the negative. So when I'm a law of attraction person, and also your unconscious does not register negatives. So when you say, for example, I want to not feel broken, all that your unconscious mind hears and all that the universe hears is broken, 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 broken. It doesn't register the not. It doesn't register a no. It doesn't register a don't. It just hears broken because that's the string you're plucking, right? So how do I not feel broken, not feel broken, not feel broken? All the universe hears is broken, 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 feel broken, feel broken, 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 feel broken, feel broken. And it's going to continue sending you people, places, things, and scenarios that are going to compound and add momentum to the feeling of broken, 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 broken. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is think about your language. You want to think about how you are constructing your thoughts around things. You also want to think about the mechanism of trying to escape a feeling. So if there's something you don't like about a feeling, we have a tendency to clam up, get tense, close up, wrap ourselves up. We constrict. Okay, we constrict. And when we constrict, and this is natural, it's natural to be constricted and then to loosen up and expand and then to constrict again. This is the natural rhythm of life in all aspects, right? We expand and we constrict, and we expand and we constrict, and we expand and we constrict. But what happens is oftentimes when we are stuck on focusing on a feeling in the lack of it, right? I don't want to feel broken, don't want to feel broken, feel broken, feel broken, feel broken. What happens is the constriction remains, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until it ties you up in knots, and then eventually you have physical ailments, right? So what we want to do is we want to look at, well, what is what you don't want. I don't want to feel broken. Okay. So what do you want? We kind of practiced this a little bit in our live stream from last month, right? First thing is taking a look at what you don't want, because that's super good information about what you do want. So what would be the opposite? And if you're watching this with me, you can type this there in the comments, maybe we can help this person out. What would be the opposite of feeling broken? Just throw out a word. What's the opposite of broken? I would not say mended, because mended still acknowledges broken, right? Mended indicates it was broken, right? So what would be the opposite of that? Whole, maybe? Filled up, abundant. Yep, feeling whole. Right? Um, juicy comes to mind. Whole. Flexible, maybe. Complete, right? So these are all things. So I want to not feel broken. This is the cognitive reframing piece. We start by saying, okay, I don't want this, but I do want that. So now instead of plucking the string of feel broken, now we're plucking the string of wholeness, safety, restoredness, completeness, abundance, filled up, powerful, right? So we're plucking different strings, right? We're shifting that focus and that momentum. The other thing you want to think about is when you try not to feel a feeling, coming back to that constriction, you are constricting yourself, right? What happens if you start letting that feeling move? How do we let that feeling move? So like in interventions, strong and healthy, those are good ones. In creative arts therapies, this is actually existential creative arts therapies, is you explore the feeling. How do I stop feeling this way? Well, you give the feeling a little bit of attention and a little bit of leeway and a little bit of flexibility, and you explore that. Because broken is a fairly vague word. And if we struggle with identifying our feeling states, we slip into using vague words to describe our energetic experiences, because emotions are energy moving through the body, right? And if we've been feeling an emotion for a very long time, then it starts to feel like a part of our identity. But it's really just energy that's got constricted within you. And we got to get it moving. So we might, even before we jump to the opposite of something, we might first stop and explore what is broken. What does broken mean to you? What are the subtleties that occur under the umbrella of broken? Because once we start doing that, now we're digging into limiting beliefs, right? Now we're digging into, I'm broken because XYZ. I can't get over it because ABC, right? But you can't jump, like we just identified where the focus should be, but sometimes we can't jump from A to Z because it's just going to boomerang back, right? You're just going to boomerang back to where you started. So we build a reframing bridge, right? So I'm feeling broken. What is the feeling of broken? Well, things aren't working out so well for me. Okay, why aren't things working out so well for me? Well, I had a fight with my friend and they're not, wanting to talk to me anymore. But given that, now you start to try to move towards where you want to be. So we had a fight, but you know what? I said things I didn't mean, but I also said things that I did mean. And the fight came up because there were some things I had been repressing for a while, and it just kind of bubbled up and out of me. And maybe I wish I had found a better way to say it. But in truth, that was how I was feeling. And because of that, maybe for the first time, I decided to honor what I was feeling instead of what they were feeling. And, unfortunately, they weren't able to take it. But maybe that's good information for me on how good of a friendship this really is, how reciprocal it really is. And maybe this is actually creating openness and spaciousness in my life to look at and consider the friendships in my life and to decide if they are friendships that serve me, if they are friendships that really truly are friendships, or if they are more about fanning each other's flame and momentum about our brokenness, and that is actually me sort of asserting something in this moment is actually a part of me piping up and stating from a soul deep level that we need to stop adding momentum to this broken conversation we keep having. And so now, even though it's sad and there's a sense of loss here and I can honor that loss, there's also a sense that there's something opening up for me and I'm finally creating space for that, right? And I don't need to turn off my brokenness right away, because that is also cluing me into something about what I might be needing, about the feelings that I may have been ignoring, repressing, constricting, not allowing for a long time. And maybe if I just allow some of that brokenness to be what it is and to explore it in greater detail, I might actually learn more things about myself. I might actually start to discover the nuances of my emotional experience. And maybe it's not all just broken. Maybe there's a cornucopia of different energetic emotions and feelings and subtleties moving through me when I'm having that heavy feeling. And as I begin to explore that heavy feeling, the feeling starts to loosen up and release some of the constriction around it. And as I start to work with my mind and creating consciousness and spaciousness and awareness around that constriction, I can start to focus on things like wholeness, safety, restorativeness, feeling contained, being in my power, allowing that to be where I consciously shift my focus while still allowing that feeling to move through me, right? And allowing that momentum to now go on its way. Because remember, when you unclog a drain, the water is going to run rusty and brown for a while before it runs clear, because it's been stopped up for a while. So you've got all kinds of plaque and gunk built up on the inner lining behind it. But once you remove something, and in this case, I'm going to liken that to adopting a new, mentality or a reframe for something, you're unclogging a drain. You're opening up something for your energy to become less constricted. My cat is agreeing with me. You're opening it up to become less constricted. So that means things are going to start to flow. But remember, now you're letting things flow. So the things that you've been clogging for a while are going to come up. And so that's why sometimes we might experience this as, 3 steps back to take 2 steps forward, but that is necessary. It's a part of the process, because you have to now go back and you have to reintegrate old stuff with new sophistication. Okay, so I hope that helps with reframing the idea of being broken. So let's review what we have learned. First, if you're feeling broken, we need to clarify what that feeling means. What are the emotional subtleties that exist under the umbrella of a vague word like broken? Next, we need to identify the opposite of that feeling so that you can shift your momentum and clean up your magnetic point of attraction or energetic vibe. Then you want to develop a reframing bridge, which allows you to step by step move from a state of emotional confusion and brokenness towards mental and emotional clarity and more positively affirming mindset. Once we start engaging with these exercises and practices in earnest, they become embodied practices, which help to relax and loosen any energetic constriction that may have gotten embedded in your body and in your musculature, constellated around your limiting beliefs on the unconscious level. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you resonate with this content or you have your own experiences in relationship to it, I would love it if you would comment below and let me know. Your feedback is very important to me, and I do review it when creating content for future videos. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.